the dude behind her is like, "Hey, mama." She's like, "You don't need to grab none of those." He's like, "I got plenty in the car." It's like, oh fuck, dude.
Dang, dude.
Then she gets herself a scoop of fucking little Thrifty's ice cream and starts walking down the street like an ice cream cone. I was like, dude, this shit's only in San Bernardino, bro.
Yo, that literally, that sounds like San Bernardino to a T, and I've only been
In downtown San Bernardino.
yeah, like I've only been through California a couple of times in my life, but that totally sounds like San Bernardino for everything I know of it.
Like, you definitely ain't in Apple Valley anymore, bro.
Yo, my wife used to live in San Bernardino for a while, and yeah,
Where all the good weed shops are, though.
I believe that. And speaking of weed shops,
One of
we
the
gotta
only counties that allowed it for a long time.
shit. Well, let's talk about weed shops here in this here show right now. Let's get into it. It's time to podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Shedtime. What is Shedtime, you ask? Well, it's code for the consumption of cannabis, but it's much more than that. Shedtime's state of mind. It's art, it's music, it's cryptocurrency, technology, it's food, it's vaping. You can be whatever you want it to be, as long as you're not letting the bastards get you down, not being a dick, and making it fun. When you're in the shed, it's whatever your mind allows you to create. So now let's get to the Shedtime podcast.
And welcome back to Shedtime podcast. Yo, I hope everybody out there is enjoying that brand new dope ass intro that our man, not the real Gerard Butler, hit us with, because when I listened to it for the first time, I was like, damn, bro, damn. Oh, okay, it's so good. I even made a promo out of it, and it's actually been circulating Instagram. So if you guys are following us over there at Shedtime Podcast on Instagram, then you've probably already seen the promo video I'm talking about with that fantastic explanation about what is Shedtime. Dude, unbelievable. Big shout out to our brother, not the real Gerard Butler, for that. One of our faithful patrons. You the man, bro. You the man, and
Hey,
I truly appreciate it.
You do things, bro. You do things.
Yes, 100%, bro.
Yeah, he's doing things, man, and he did a thing for us, and like I was so motivated.
Let's say this: he did the damn thing.
Oh, it's so good. So yeah, that's what you just heard coming into the show. And if, like I said, if you guys are following us on the IG, then you've already seen the little promo I put together for it, for us with it. And yeah, man, I'm feeling super hype. I'm also feeling super hype because I got some new thing in, brand new technology from work this week. And it's so weird. I kind of need to talk about it with you guys. So
I kind of need to hear about it.
yo, all right. So check this thing out. This is called Hue, and what Hue is, in an essence, are little pressed pucks of weed, and they're meant to be run in a vaporizer. And so you slide this little guy open. I'm gonna go ahead and hit my focus button so that way patrons and the boys can see it a lot more clearly. But yeah, so you get this little guy, you slide it open, and inside are these little weed pucks. And so I'm gonna go ahead and pop one out, and you guys will be able to really see what we're talking about. There we go. But yeah, so what I end up with is this little guy right here. It looks like a little Cheerio made of weed. It's got a hole straight through the center that you can look through. And that's for, obviously, airflow, and so it'll maximize vaporization surface area. Cool thing. Fits right inside a Dynavap. So,
Dude, when I look at that, you know what it makes me think about? It makes me think about like back in the day, dude, in like the 90s, and you'd get like you'd be looking for weed or whatever, and you'd eventually be like, yo, okay, so they'd be like, yo, I don't got any hydro, but I got this cess, and you'd be like, oh, fuck, all right, I just need something to smoke, so I'm good, and I'll take it. And dude, they'd give you like a little puck, and it would be like a puck of cess that they just fucking press the hell out of it, and it'd be like the size of maybe like, I don't know, we'll say like 10 quarters on top of each other. and then you'd break it up, and like it'd end up being like a fucking big L paper, but it would be so compressed, and like you'd be picking out seeds and everything. That's what that reminds me of, but that's just miniature.
Down here we have something similar to that, but that's called Mexican brickweed, dude.
So I smoked the brick.
And a fucking brick, and it's pressed so fucking compact together, dude, that it's literally like that. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying, bro.
Yeah, but this is actually.
Hopefully that's better than what I'm.
This is
good quality herb by color.
This is truly ground flower. And what they do is they take the flour, they press it in their press, and you end up with this tiny little guy. And then what you can do is you can take it and pop it right inside a Dynavap.
Dude, and that gives you nice airflow down the center.
Yes, sir, it does. And it fits in the tip perfectly.
Yeah, actually, like it kind of looks like it was made for a Dynavap bowl.
So it was and it wasn't. The idea is that they want it to be able to work in a multitude of devices, and so like it fits the Dynavap perfectly. They have this device here that they made with Gpen Grenco Science. This guy right here is just branded with their name on it, but same idea. You're able to fill it. I actually have it filled with some dry herb right now, that my own weed that I've got with me. Because I wanted to see what this performed like by itself with normal usage. So it's interesting. I'm actually, since I just packed it up, I'm gonna go ahead and fire this up. We're gonna give it a test in the Dynavap. The one thing I'm already noticing is that I can't get it all the way inside the tip. Like it's stopping right there at the little ridge where like the half bowl is. So it's basically like a half bowl, and I don't have it in half bowl mode. It is in the full bowl mode. So that's interesting, but go ahead and fire this up here, and we'll heat a cap, and we'll see how it fires.
I'm curious like how it tastes too.
So yeah, this one is the indica blend. So it just clicked.
I feel like you're getting a really good amount of airflow through there.
So of course that was mid cap heat. So fairly quick click on this one. Mostly just terps right now. And it's okay. The strain, if I remember correctly, is Nicole Banana, which I don't really like banana strains, so I'm not actually enjoying this flavor that much.
Nicole Banana?
Yeah.
I don't know what Nicole is.
Me neither. I
I've
like
like a couple different banana strains, but I have no idea.
Yeah, there's one banana strain that I had not that long ago, and I actually kind of dug it. What the fuck was it called?
I like a good banana.
Dirty banana? Nah. I don't know. I had it was decent. It wasn't like a favorite or anything, but it wasn't bad.
All right, so like I just did a base hit to really get some heat into it now, and
is it better now?
I do not like the flavor of the strain at all.
Okay.
No,
That's disappointing.
How's it working now? Like, is it working?
I would much rather at this point, I think, have actual flour in here and not this thing. I'm taking the cap off. Go ahead and see if I can get it to focus. This is the second.
Pretty dark, pretty quick.
I say that's the second heat cycle on it so far, and it's darkened up. It's kind of like a mid-grade dark. So I mean, there's definitely at least
another heat or two, maybe.
Yeah, there's at least another cycle left for it. So let's go ahead before I lose too much heat in the cap and everything, and let's get another heat cycle on it and find out what's up with it. So again, I'm going straight base hits because that's the way I want it. I like that heat.
Oh yeah.
Double click.
Pop out.
Vapor production is not the same. I mean, you can you guys know what this thing can do.
Light. Well, I'm starting to think Sean, like even though at first concept it seems like a great idea because like yeah, it is a perfect size to drop in there. I just think it is so compressed. It's not allowing you to vaporize as efficiently as when you pack your bowl a little bit lighter. You know what I mean?
I agree. I think that's part of the problem. And we're going to do something here in a second when this cap clicks again. I'm actually going to chop it up with the fin of the cap.
Yeah, and then see what
and see what happens.
Oh.
Yeah, because I tried it in one of my first tests earlier today, and that seemed like it was a better experience. All right, so we got the click, and yeah, I mean we're dark. We're dark in there. We're like almost a hash color now, but we're not.
But I wonder if that's only on the outside.
That's what we're about to find out. All right, so I just had a chunk come falling out after I chopped it, and it's yeah, the color is consistent all the way through. So it is vaporizing all the material evenly. The outside edge that's touching the barrel is dark, like it is starting to blacken a little bit. But again, more in the like, you know, when you get that like dark hash, it's more like that color dark, not like black roasted material. It's all one of the things that's part of how these pucks get made. I was talking to the rep about it. Is there's a little bit of keef mixed in to the flower material in order to try to be a binding agent that's natural. And I get the impression seeing that's what's happening. Is it's building like a hash layer on the outside from that keef. So I chopped it.
Dynavap, bro. I'm packing one, man.
So it's chopped. I'm gonna go ahead and give it another heat. Base hits as always.
Oh man, this is my issue right now, guys. Is I've got so many strains to choose from. Not only cannabis flower wise, but I went to the dispensary, of course, and got some concentrates.
You see that?
That was a lot better of a
That
cloud.
is much better density of vapor.
Yeah, dude, that was a big difference.
I'm gonna go with some of this, dude. This pink Asahi is some good stuff, man. I like how it vapes. Where's my grinder? There it is.
Yeah, that's a much better performance. So all in all, really, what I'm kind of finding, because like I've been messing with this little great Gpen too, and this thing, I actually don't hate this thing for what it's worth. This is at least in my shop, this is a $20 unit, so it's not very expensive at all. And it actually does efficiently vaporize the herb. I mean, if I open this guy up, I have almost spent material in here right now. See if we can show it on camera for you guys. You can see like it's properly brown now. So like it is doing an actually decent job vaporizing herb in this thing.
Yeah, no, it looks like it is, yeah.
And I mean, I've set it on here.
$20?
Yeah, I've set it on here.
How much are the refills though?
You can get one of these sleeves, at least in my shop in Massachusetts, for $30. And
But then again, like Sean said, he has his own flower in there right now. So it wasn't even one of those pucks. You can
No.
So like
No, I get that, but I'm just not everyone will do that, right? I'm just curious.
No,
'cause,
I was just saying
I just
on
wanna
top
know
of
the
that,
price.
like just in case other people were wondering, like you could also throw your own flower in it too if you wanted to.
and that's the thing. Like right now, it's just
That's pretty cool.
this is my own.
$20?
Yeah. I say it on here quite often that like you really can't find anything decent for a low price point like that. That's an electronic vaporizer, and I actually have to eat my words. This isn't bad.
My question is longevity. How long is it gonna last?
Right. So here's a couple of things already on that I can talk about. And just less than 24 hours of using it. Battery life is trash.
Is it?
Trash, dude. Like you're gonna get about maybe 3 sessions if you're running it at high heat. And trust me, I find you really do. You want to run in this one at medium and high heat only because you want some sort of vapor output. And medium heat is like Dynavap tip cap heating, and high heat's like middle of the barrel in this thing. But for what it's worth, I'm all right with this because $20 to do what it's doing, it works. Like I said, the battery dies quick. You definitely want to be able to charge it. You can't expect this thing to be like a weekender device. It might be good for a day if you have a lower tolerance. You know what I mean? I think overall, personally, the Hue puck system is great for a beginner. Right? Like, if I've never tried dry herb vaping in my life, and I can get this little guy and this little guy for a decent price like that, you know, $50 to get myself started, basically.
No,
And-
that's easy dosing too.
Right. And I can just drop that little fucker inside one of these and give it a go. And that's another thing we're going to test later on here. One of these does not fill this chamber. I can stack them. So that's something I have to test. I have to stack them in here and see how it performs, because I haven't done that yet. Because I could definitely do at least 2 in here, and I think it might perform better when there's 2 in here. With 1 inside this, there's just too much surface area not being utilized inside the oven. Because the oven in this thing is probably a little deeper than a Dynavap bowl, and it's definitely a little bit wider. So this guy holds a little bit more material.
Sean, will a Dynavap fit inside of that with a cap on it?
Maybe. I don't know.
Like it's a little portable induction heater. Is that what you're thinking, James?
Hey.
Nope. Nope. That was a great thought.
My head
Yeah.
went when you said that, though, right?
That was a great thought. That really was.
I was like, dude, that could be kind of cool.
However,
That would definitely be cool.
I can tell you this. I did also just get introduced to a dabbing RDA.
I've seen a few. I actually own a couple.
So this one was
They're interesting now.
this one was unlike anything I've seen, because by appearance this looks like a normal dripper.
Yeah.
And then the only real difference was the deck was concave and it had like a ceramic heating element right in the center.
This right here is a dabbing RDA. But inside, if I can fucking get it apart, this is going to be the fucking problem.
Yeah.
There's like a ceramic cup, no? Your little ceramic tray.
There's a ceramic tray with a fucking piece of mesh that you swoop down in the tray. You fill it with your concentrate. You put your cap on it. And it even has like a glass.
It has like this like weird little beaker stemmy.
It has like a glass drip tip thing.
Oh, that's the
trap addy.
the trap. That's right. I remember that addy now. Yes.
And I have a earlier version of it too, somewhere.
Yeah, so like this one I was introduced to is called the Molecule, and like similar. It had like a very similar body design, but inside the deck it was just basically like a small concave bowl with like a ceramic heating element right in the center, so you could drop your concentrate in, and if it was on the sides, as it heats the sides, it's just going to slide itself right to the center where that heating element is, and then it had 4-way airflow. So that way you
Problem I found is you need a very tight airflow in order to, because dude, it's not like vaping on like your RDA with a coil and
we want compression when dabbing.
Exactly, and that's the one thing I did not get from that trap addy whatsoever, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It was just too much airflow so that I couldn't get a good hit, really. You know.
Yeah, and that's fucking that's problematic. Like, you need to have compression. Like, this is why, ladies and gentlemen, if you're out there in this world and you've thought to yourself, you know, I kind of want to get a dab rig, and you go and you just take any old bong that you've been smoking flower out of for the last 5 years and throw a banger in it, you're fucking up two different ways. Because for one, like, you're good. No, I don't care how much you goddamn clean it, unless you have like an autoclave, you're gonna still know you used to smoke flower out of that bong. So it's definitely going to taint the flavor a little bit. But beyond that, you don't get the proper compression in a bong made for dry flower that you get out of a nice rig.
It takes too much air.
Well, that's why I'm assuming that you don't see fucking dab rigs that have a big, like, bong, we'll call it. It seems like most dab rigs, especially maybe it's just the ones that you guys have. I don't have any, but they're all smaller.
There are ones that exist that are bigger, but there's so much going on inside of them that it creates the compression. You know what I mean?
The RBR, that giant RBR.
Exactly.
Like,
they've got like different percolators or different sites of recycling where the water moves that add extra pressure as the fucking function happens. Dude, there's a lot of science that actually goes behind fucking glass making, bro.
Yeah, crazy. Like that's
to make it like good glass, I would assume. Like, these people aren't people that don't use their shit, right? I would not assume.
Speaking, we're talking about the RBRs, Bear Mountain Studios. Anytime he builds a new piece, as soon as he's done making it, he's ripping it to see how it works. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then he breaks that shit from back in the day, and he's like using it, or like fucking does these different concepts and shit.
Like,
have you seen those videos where he's got like the real big ass tall one, and then he's got a bunch of different fucking ones coming off of it that are like carb caps with nails, with carb caps with another nail, with the carb cap with another. Yep. And he like takes like 12 dabs out of this huge fucking recycle, dude. Insane, bro.
Like he'll literally take one that's got like 10 perks, like it's the biggest RBR he's ever made, and then he's got like a series of progressively shrinking carb caps, some of which are functioning dab rigs, some of which are not, and he'll just get it all the way to the point that he, like, the last one is the non-functioning carb cap, and it's just like all it does is act as a carb cap, but it looks like his rig. It's incredible. He's phenomenal. I literally hope to one day own one of those pieces, because,
bro, I would fucking, because obviously this is what his rigs look like, very similar, but he's got a very like distinct style. He usually does a bigger like kind of marble thing down here with his logo in it, and he's got like a little bit bigger of a recycling sort of thing. He does
the science in his is probably a little bit the math's probably a little bit tighter on his compared to the one you've got, just to like get the compression better.
Like, I will admit, like, the function on it's pretty decent, but like I feel like the like recycle aspect could be a little bit tighter on it. You know?
I get you completely. Like, I have the two main rigs that everybody sees me use. You know, I got the Smiley Fry, and then I got the Evan Cows. The Smiley Fry does not have the compression of the Evan Cows, and that's why the Smiley Fry stays my low temp banger. Because, you know what I mean? Like, you can cold start banger with that with low compression, and it's not bad. It's a really enjoyable dab. But then if I want a heater in that thing, it's gonna choke you to death. A heater in the Evan Cows is exactly what you want it to be, which is something that I think is overlooked by a lot of concentrate users as well, right? You could buy the best
heaters.
You can buy the best concentrates in the world, but if you don't have a good rig to drop it in,
you're losing so much.
You're not getting the benefit. The best dabs.
Honestly, once I got this recycler, bro, like, I've used shower head perk rigs. I've used just your standard, just like, you know, whatever, you know, you get at the fucking local head shop sort of thing. But once I got this recycler, dude, it changes like the enjoyment of my dab, because you get to feel the function of it and how it does add that little bit more of compression. And with that little bit more compression, it does allow you a little bit more time to get that filtration through the water to kind of cool your dab down and allow you to get those real nice flavor notes out of it, you know, compared to, you know, something that's just literally going through the water real quick straight up to your fucking mouth and usually still pretty fucking hot. But
Yeah.
dude, I've been loving it, man. It makes me want to. I've been honestly looking the past few weeks at different styles of recyclers because I like this RBR style sort of situation. I just love the look of it. I like how the look of how it functions, but I also want to kind of, you know, try something a little different, kind of something similar to like your why can't I think you just said it now.
Yeah, the Evan cows. You want a spiral drain for sure. You definitely want to try a spiral drain.
Something similar to that where it's got a couple more points for that recycling to kind of happen, because like with that you've got multiple points compared to this where it's just got that.
Well, the cool thing too, right, is like the Evan cows, for example. Like here's the smiley. The smiley is just going to give you this big vortex here. With a spiral drain, they're going to take that vortex cone and wrap it and curve it so it moves more and funnels in even tighter before it drops back into the main water supply. And it really does create more compression. And the craziest thing I find is that, like,
it does adds more diffusion too. Like
the Evan cows is not very diffused. That's the craziest thing. Like the way that the inlet perk hits that main supply of water, it's like a nose, basically. It just sticks out with, like, I think 2 little holes, and that's it. But all that compression, having to pull it up with the water through the spiral, it breaks the water when it gets up and drops into the actual drain, and then you inhale the smoke, the water comes back down. That bong is almost completely full of water. Like, that's the crazy thing about it. There's very little air inside that rig.
I feel like that's a lot of misconception for people too when they start using recyclers, because like for instance, I went to Steel Valley and we'll have this kind of similar sort of situation like we're talking about, like a nice, you know, a little bit taller of a rig that, you know, sort of recycler situation that had multiple points, that had quite a bit of compression. And the first time I used it, like it was like bubbling, you know, like a normal bong would, but I was like, no, this isn't functioning right. Like this should have more compression to it. Like there should be water moving around through these tubes and stuff like that. And I was like, hey man, I think you might need a little bit more water in your fucking rig. I was like, honestly, it's gonna look like there's too much, but trust me, once you start hitting it and it functions, that water is gonna move and displace to where you're not gonna get splashback. But it's a very fucking like fine line between perfect amounts and too much. Like that's the one thing about a recycler. Yep. It's kind of, you know, touch and go until you find that perfect spot. And then once you find that spot, make a mental fucking note of how high the water is in that rig and just like fill it to that point every time. And then you'll be able to get that perfect function without too much splashback.
I'll say this. Most of the glass blowers who are making rigs out there, there is a not so obvious point where you know you want to fill it to. Oftentimes, I'll grab this rig to show. For example, oftentimes it's going to be this joint where this connection point is. More often than not, where that connection point is going to be roughly around where you want to aim to get that perfect level of water. I know in my Evan cows it's like that, and this one it's like that. I have a handful of friends.
This one is very iffy, because like right now I can honestly put a touch more water in it, because like it comes up just a millimeter or 2 above like where the base is, and then it just gets the perfect amount of fucking function to where that funnel really starts to go, compared to just being like kind of like a small sort of light situation. Like honestly, I'm gonna put a little splash of water in here now because we're talking about it.
It's like now I'm just actually gonna make sure that
I'm about to take
my
another
advice
one,
here.
Well, another great trick for this, right? And I think this is something a lot of people also overlook is don't be afraid to rip the bong while you fill it, right? Don't be
I
afraid
do
to
that
rip
all
the
the
rig
time.
while you fill it.
I do
Exactly.
it all the time. Put your nail on it. That way, you know, you can feel what it's going to feel like.
Oh no, no.
Most of the time,
I'm saying
if I don't put mine on there, oh, you're talking about just
I'm saying as you pour the water down the downstem, take a dry pull through it. So this way, like, you're gonna start to see the water come around, and then do exactly what you're saying. Throw the nail on it, test it.
yeah, because most of the time, if I sometimes I have to put a little bit more water in it once I put the nail on there because there's a little bit more, or either that, or I have to put a little bit less because there's more compression, so that water moves a little bit faster, you know.
But like,
Right now,
don't.
I think I put a little bit too much in here.
But I'm like, don't be afraid to try to do that because like you're definitely gonna find an optimal
that's
fill
what I do.
point once you've tried that. And that's key.
Clean this thing too.
Don't mind me. I'm gonna take a sip of some weed real quick.
Yeah, I was going hard in the dabs last night with Will and Swaggins and oh shit. Because I went and picked up some new stuff, dude. And by new stuff, I not only mean a couple new strains, but picked up some stuff from a new cultivator, new cannabis oil company, as they're calling it.
Yeah, I need to know about this a specific one.
I picked up some Bear Labs, which is a brand that I've seen quite a bit around here. Honestly, their packaging is really fucking sick, dude. Like, look at these fucking bears, bro. Like, they're pretty dope.
No, that looks cool. I like that.
But they're the profiles, guys. The profiles, patrons, if you're watching, I got all kinds of choices here. We got some modified papaya, some perps, some frosted kiwi, and I know which one you want to know about, Sean. It's this garlic butter over here. And let me tell you, that was the first one I tried when I got home, boys. And it is garlicky, it is buttery, and I still had a little bit on my dab tool for like the last couple dabs that I've taken, I've guessed, because I can literally every dab I've taken has smelled like garlic butter. But then I dab it and then I get the other flavor of what it actually is. But like, it's like, dude, like here, I'm gonna just show you the consistency of this stuff, dude, because it looks like it would be garlic butter, bro.
Oh, that looks so good.
It does look like it could be garlic butter.
It looks like it's got little grains of garlic in it almost. Oh, dude, it is funk, dude. I mean, you want some funky shit, dude. This is it. And that's some pretty good stuff here. I got some of this, the perps, dude. You guys know me. I am a huge purple guy. And this stuff is just another beautiful looking concentrate there. But dude, this has definitely got all those purple terps, dude. And it's got that same sort of like heavy indica high. I took a dab of this yesterday, watched the new Spider-Man, and was just like chilling, dude. I literally like leaned back in my chair. I was just sitting like this. The next thing you know, like towards the end of the movie, I was starting to fall asleep, bro. I was just like, yeah, I am just toasted. And these other two here, of course, I've been a big papaya fan lately, and this modified papaya is pretty tasty stuff. These ones look pretty similar to like the perps as far as consistency goes. And I just tried this frosted kiwi this morning, which is pretty interesting, man. I've never heard of this strain. I haven't had the chance to look it up and find out what it is. But I will say all of these are something, Sean, I don't know if you've heard of these, the HCEs, where they're high extracts, or high concentrate extracts. But dude, with that being said, they're definitely super, super stony, but the terps are still fucking there, dude. Like all those terps are just like in your face. Just I've really been enjoying these. These are a little bit more pricey than the ones I usually pick up. I picked about $10 more than a couple I picked up last week. But honestly, I think it was worth it. You know what I mean? You get what you pay for. these are some tasty, delicious concentrates that definitely will put you in your seat if you're not careful, man. Because I took a pretty fat one last night and I was like dumb high, but then I went to go lay down and go to sleep, and I just could not sleep for some reason. I don't know why. I think it was mainly because my back was bothering me and I couldn't get comfortable. But anyway.
Yeah, those HCEs are basically like, if you could imagine taking rocks and sauce and grinding those diamonds down into like a salt consistency, and then mixing it with the terp sauce.
Yeah, and I like it.
Yeah, that's why you're getting so fucking schmacked with it, because it's not like dropping a whole diamond in a glob of sauce. It's like, like that diamond is spread out across a whole bunch of surface area when you've dropped it, and it's a whole lot more sauce keeping it all together. And
I'm trying to figure out which one I want to dab right now, though.
I mean, honestly, it sounds like the papaya needs to take its opportunity to shine here on the show.
Crazy thing, bro, is the papaya is one of the highest testing ones out of all of them. It goes perps then papaya. But yeah, dude, let's throw it on some of this papaya, dude.
I've got some Wedding Crasher right now that I just grabbed from the Caregiver. And I'll tell you what, the fun thing about Caregiver purchases is that Venmo is a thing. Like, you can't just Venmo the dispensary a payment, but you can Venmo your Caregiver, and that's awesome.
Yeah, that is true.
My wife was like, yo, don't even worry about it. I just Venmo'd over the money to him, and I was like, yo, no cash? I like that.
Yeah.
Well, dude, you can pay by card if you go into a dispensary. It's not like
you got Apple Pay, bro.
Yo, so here's the thing. It depends on your dispensaries, right? Because, like, technically speaking, because of federal law in the United States, dispensaries cannot work with banks. So the regular card processing companies can't contract with a dispensary. So typically what happens is most dispensaries cannot accept a credit card at all because, I mean, look at it this way. Uncle Sam is not going to front you money for weed. Just point blank. But they will often take a debit card. And the reason for that is that they use an ATM provider. So whoever the company is that provides the ATM in the corner of the room is usually also providing the transaction service for what they call cashless ATM at the register. And so, like, in my store, as an example, if I have a customer that comes up and his total is, say, $26.50, well, you can't take $26.50 out of an ATM, but you could definitely take $30 out of some ATMs, pay for your transaction, get your change back, and be on your way.
Yeah.
That's how
it worked at the one I used to go to down in Empire. That's how theirs was set up.
Yeah, so like that's basically the move.
Round up to the next 10.
Yep. So for us, it's 5, thankfully, so we can take it easy on people.
They also had a minimum that you would have to be able to. You'd have to be spending at least $100 or more in order to use your card.
See, we don't do that to people, but like, so like the guy.
I think that's part of the deal they had with their ATM provider because they didn't want to have to sit there because there's some items they have there that are $10, this or that or whatever. So,
I mean, like the fee passes on to the consumer at the end of the day, right? So like. You get that $30 charge. I'm actually charging your card $33.50 because you also have an ATM fee, which is that additional $3.50. Like if you were in the corner of the room using the ATM and it's like, do you agree to pay this $3.50 charge for using our ATM? You're gonna say yes because you want your money. So it's the same exact thing. But that's the way that a lot of them get around it. At least here, like I assume. It's probably a bit different in Canada because it's actually legal nationwide.
Real quick side note: have we ever
I'll pay with credit
do a
card.
cold start dab on here, like in video form for the patrons that may not know about cold starts?
We've at least step by stepped it, but I don't believe it's ever been captured for people to see.
We should do it one more time just because I'm about to do it right now. I just want to talk people through it. So I've already got my concentrate in there. And obviously, for those that can see, that's what this little glob of stuff is right next to my nice little pearl there. And then pretty much what I do is I give myself a little 1,000, 1,000 count. So about give or take 10 to 15, depending on the concentrate. Some take a little bit longer. Some I like to give it a little bit less, just depending on, what it is. This one I've been going about like 12.
Yeah.
And then just letting it do its thing after that, because I don't want to let it get too hot, because it does have a nice amount of those terps in there still that I still want to get out of it.
As a general rule, I like to say just watch for the vapor to start coming off when it boils.
That's another thing you can do too, because there are times where I do lose count, because shed time, that happens. So I'm just going to go ahead and give this a little count here. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000, 8, 1,000, 9, 1,000, 10, 1,000. See, it's already vaporizing. 13. Right there. There we go. Cheers.
And then you do the rest like you, I guess,
And then
always
you just
would
give
do
it a
it.
ripski. Perfectly.
And look at that. Look at like the compression.
Perfect dab every time. And the cool thing about this is I can still go back and give us a little reheat if I'd like, to just kind of get whatever's left. But honestly, I think I pretty much got all I needed out of it. What's left is pretty much just the little residues that be left over. I would say that modified papaya, dude, pretty tasty. But I want to know what do you know of any modified named strains, Sean? I'm trying to figure out what these crosses are.
Well, I mean, I know that there's a modified punch out there, and I don't know what that starts from, and I don't know if it literally just means that like they've modified something to it. I know, like,
then, right after you're done, before it cools down, give it a little dry wipe first. Get all the extras out of there. I'm just giving everybody a dab tutorial because I want everybody to get the perfect dab. You know what I mean? I don't want you wasting your shit. Get perfect flavor. I like to get all the extra oil out first before I go in with the alcohol, so it doesn't just spread and go crazy everywhere. Because then afterward, you just go back after you give it a wipe with some ISO, give it a little heat to kind of evaporate whatever's left, because you really don't want to dab ISO. I'm telling you guys, it'll be fucking brutal and it's not good for you. And then you just kind of give it a little wipe down, and then it looks almost brand new by the time you're done.
look at that. Look at that clean banger.
Boom.
And so that you start to get some info here, the modified punch is GMO and papaya, and I'm about to see if I can get you the answer on the modified papaya.
I'm guessing that's probably just what it is, and they just call it that. Because it does have a little bit of that funk to it. You know what I mean? It's got like that fruit papaya taste, but it's got some funk to it.
My guess is that modified papaya is probably a situation where like the papaya, it's papaya and GMO, so it's probably a situation where the papaya is a little bit more forward in this cut, compared to the modified punch where the probably GMO may be more forward.
But it's good, man.
Yeah, that sounds really good, honestly. I'm into that. That's my my wheelhouse all day.
Nice clean too after this. I'll tell you what, I need to give this rig a nice cleaning too.
Yeah, happy rig is very key.
I've been getting on a schedule, dude. Like once, twice a week, I give it like a good fucking clean, because I do go pretty heavy, so it's just like I don't want to really have to clean it every single day, even though I should. But I'm also, a little lazy, but I don't let it get too out of hand.
I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again. 24 hours and the water is already growing bacteria.
I changed my water religiously, giving it like a good clean,
But so that's what I'm saying, though, is I think like if every time you go and change your water, you give it a heavy duty, like 2-3 minute hot water flush, you know what I mean? You can pretty much stay on top of it for the most part, and then like maybe once a month you got to go in there and give it like a nice ice and not ice ISO and salt bath. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but then again, it comes like I said, it comes down to me being lazy at the end of the day. I change my water. The next thing I need to do is just get to actually just give into the full clean every time. But dude, I don't have enough ISO. I go through too much. So I fucking end up spilling that shit because I'm too stoned when I'm cleaning it.
All right, so we're going in for the second experiment with this
I'm
thing.
curious about this with the stack. Do you stack them this time?
Yeah, so I have 2 in here. It's completely full so that the mouthpiece could still fit in it without like, pushing on them. And so I've turned
Hopefully
it
you
on.
get like a dope result. That's like the hope.
That's my hope, yeah, because I've turned it on. So right now the light's flashing. That means that it's in preheat mode. And I've got it on the middle setting because, like I said, I feel like that's,
Like it
in my
needs a minimum
assessment,
of the
yeah,
medium.
a minimum.
But the fact that it's only $20, I mean, that's if it works even like halfway decent, that's really pretty good, in my opinion. Because like if you just went out and like let's say you're just like going out for the evening and you didn't want to like worry about smoking a joint or like bring your Dynavap or whatever, you just bring that. If you can hit it 3 times, like 3 sessions, I guess, if you will, on one charge, that's not really that bad. But if you're using that as like something to get high all day, then yeah, that would probably get annoying pretty quick.
So even at this medium heat with these little hue pucks in it, it's not hot enough to even produce vapor out of my mouth. So like,
Can you taste anything though?
nothing comes out of my mouth. I definitely can taste some terpenes,
Okay, well,
but not, like you see no visual vapor
no, there is no vapor
to
That's
indicate that anything's
that's
happening
absolutely
right now.
nothing,
That's
yeah.
that's the kind of airflow that these are getting. So I just moved it up to the next setting. We're going up to the hot setting. It just vibrated for me to tell me it's now heated. This is just over 400 degrees at the hottest setting. So I'm going to give it a second to build some vapor and then...
Oh,
Yeah. At least we saw something when I would kind of puff on
yeah,
it,
like
you know?
that was weird.
Nothing came out when I exhaled, but let's keep puff on it a little more. Let's see what happens.
Take that like long, nice rip, see what happens. Oh, saw a little bit of vapor. Like there's touch.
There was a wisp. There was a wisp. There was definitely a wisp. I definitely... I taste it more.
Sean.
I taste it more, though. I will say that. Like, I can really taste weed right now. Let's go for another one. I'm trying to think right now like a noob, right? Like, if I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, but like, is there like any level of like harshness? Like, do you feel like going into your lungs, like down your throat? Like, do you?
So, like,
Is
I
there
just...
like any normalness?
I
to
power
that?
ripped it, and like I kind of felt a tickle. And again, like I'm on the hottest setting on a fully charged battery right now, and like
Or something.
it's barely a tickle in your throat. It's very, very light. It's very, very non-offensive, I guess is a good word. Like, I think it's going to be great for somebody who has never tried dry herb vaping to, like, maybe attempt this for the first time, because, like, this is so non-threatening even at the highest heat.
And it's also incredibly simple. Like, you're literally just dropping in little things that are like already pre-done for it. You know what I mean?
It's weird though, right? Like it's kind of not satisfying that I don't blow much of anything out, right? Like, as a cannabis consumer, that's what I'm used to. Even when I use a Dynavap, I still see me exhale
That was part of
something.
my issues, even with just vaping in general. When I first started vaping, is like I used to get so much, visual out of smoking my cigarette that when I first switched to like mouth to lung vaping and like I was getting just like barely like anything really out of it, I was just like, oh.
Really, I've always felt that I got so much more from even like a pod methadone than a cigarette.
No, I mean like back in the Cardo, like the early days, like back when they first vaping first started. Like I really couldn't get into it until I got like a sub-ohm device, and I was able to like get like a really full big cloud out of it. It took me a long time to actually find something, but like I guess that's kind of like some. I would probably be similar with that. Like I probably wouldn't even really be.
Well, like when you use a Dynavap, does it create as much like vapor as a joint creates smoke?
No, but it does
definitely
create
doesn't.
a decent amount of vapor that it's enough to be satisfying. More so than any other vapor.
Yeah,
device.
like the Dynavap is gonna give me the ability to
Even
get
the
a
first
hit.
hit's giving me more vapor than he's getting there.
Yeah, like
Oh, he's getting like fuck all. Yeah, 100%.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but like,
So-
and not only that, but you actually feel it with the Dynavap. Like from him, and he's saying he's not even really feeling anything from that.
Sean, is there a way that you can like, excuse me, whoa. Is there a way that you can block some of the airflow?
I just tried that actually. I'm glad you asked that.
Like,
I did.
I feel like if you did that, it could like amplify everything. It probably will not be like,
So
holy shit, look at how much more vapor, but it'll be. I feel like it's got to change something.
here's the catch, and again, we're gonna go into the focus real quick. Boom. So this vent grill right here,
Is all your airflow?
that's half my airflow. It's also on the back.
Yeah, dude, I would fucking block both of those with my forefinger and my thumb.
So that's literally what I did. I held it like this and hit it. You're still obviously getting a little bit of airflow. I honestly don't think it changed enough. I will do this though, so I can show you.
So
guys.
like the device just is kind of shit, but like it's a good like.
So here's the thing: is I don't think the device is the problem because like, all right, ready? There's the puck. That's one of them. All right. Here's the second puck, and this one is a little more toasted because this must have been the bottom. So like, they're pretty damn roasted. They're almost not producing vapor. They're reaching the the popcorn flavor as we all, who vape dry herb are kind of used to describing it at this point, right? So it's there. I think ultimately the issue that I'm finding is that airflow hole down the center.
So when you put in regular like your own, well, it's obviously regular weed, but when you put in like your own, like you're basically in a pack the bowl, like you're packing a Dynavap, is it like a better overall experience?
Yes. So
Okay.
So here's the
it's more
thing.
the pucks.
I definitely think it's the puck. So
pellets.
just because again we've been doing a lot of this all for the patrons to be able to see here in the video, I'm gonna go ahead and ensure I got enough ground weed right now, and I'm gonna pack it with my own ground weed now, and you're gonna be able to see a sizable performance change. Like, this was the thing that shocked me last night when I was messing with it in the first place. Was I tried it with a puck, and it was just one puck. And so at first it was like, all right, well maybe it's the surface area issue that I brought up earlier. And so, all right, cool, chuck the puck and move on. Now I try grinding up some of my own weed. I throw that in there. Let's see how that works. And when I did that, I was definitely surprised by the difference. It was a lot more of what I was expecting. So, all right. Weed is ground nicely so we can get proper surface area.
I'm gonna do a side by side with you with a fresh Dynavap, just because why not?
All right, so now with this sort of thing, I'm just grabbing a pinch of weed and I'm just loading it into this sucker. And I will say that's one of the weird things about the design of this thing, right? Is that like it's got this nice little bevel in here, so you kind of just like you're letting your thumb just guide it in, and once it's in, it's in. All right, now it's got this nice little rubberized piece down here with a screen on it. Pushes it in. Make sure you get plenty of proper surface area. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again 1, 2, 3. 1. All right. Medium heat again. We're on the green setting.
All right, I'm gonna go or like right tip of the.
Yeah, around the tipish, I'd say, is where this is gonna compare.
All right.
Pack another Dynavap too.
Oh, there we go.
All right, and I'm vibrating.
So there's like a reasonable amount of tech in that.
Not much vapor.
Now for me,
It's tasty.
I actually just blew out vapor.
I also was using a dual torch, which I think's the problem, and that fucking thing got real hot, and now my single torch doesn't want to work. Oh, heat number 2.
So like, even right now, we weren't getting that on the medium setting with the puck, but with properly packed flower ground, it looks like how the puck looked on high.
Well, there we go.
See, and even James is getting some good vapor on those tips. Now, I'm going into the high mode now, so I'm going into red.
Oh, he's going in the high mode.
Base drop, baby. Here we go.
Face it. I didn't hear mine click to cool down. Fuck.
Oh, I'm doing one of these puppies too.
It's a risky.
Oh no! Don't
All
die
right,
on
fuck
me.
it. I'm just
Don't
gonna
die
go
on
with
me,
it.
Torch. Don't
All
you do
right.
it. Boom.
Look at that. I'm
Like-
actually getting vapor. See, like, I got enough vapor to cough.
Choke yourself a bit.
Yes.
yeah. Yeah.
Bass drops, baby.
I don't need a cough right now.
That was not combustion either, if anybody's wondering. It's just when you do Dynasnaps and you pull that stem and that vapor comes back, it hits your throat, dude. It's like a bong rip.
100%.
Dude, even the way that I hit my Dynavap, I like basically just like really restricted lung hit it. I'll like pull and I don't draw on it with my mouth. I like pulling it into my lungs. And
Oh,
that's
yeah,
why
I do
I'll
the
like
same
roll
thing.
it off because it'll start to get real warm and then I'll like roll my finger off for a second and then just like slam it back on the hole.
I'm like I like to do the
Sometimes.
flutter a little bit.
Yeah. I'll just like do like
I
a
do
tweak,
towards the I'll do it towards the end if I'm using it dry.
especially with the 2021 because like you can just roll it like that. So
I do
cover
it with the
one and I'll
Omni.
just do that.
Because the Omni's similar.
And that's like how I'll hit it.
All right, Chris.
And then obviously at the end, then I'll just like let it off like the choke and I just fucking pull and kind of like breathe through it.
So how many
Is-
hits have you gotten out of that thing so far, Sean?
He's gotten a bunch, dude.
At least 6 or 7. I'm still going, and I just covered the airflow this time just to see, and it definitely kind of smooths it a little bit. Definitely makes it a little bit warmer too, though. Oh man,
You're hitting that a little different than you would like a Dynavap though, because you can actually kind of just like take little puffs on it, huh?
so I mean that's kind of how I still toke on a Dynavap for the most
Yeah, you
part.
can.
So
I
would
don't.
you say you like, in comparison to the Dynavap to that, would you say you get a similar amount of hits per bowl?
I can definitely get more per
Yeah, I was gonna
pack
say,
on this.
But you also said that it was bigger,
Well, yeah, you also said that the bowl is a little bit deeper
but
and wider.
it still
Yeah.
it kind of seems like you would get more if it was the same size even at this point.
Well, it's just because of like how he's able to hit it like that, and you're not having to sit there and cycle through it. And not only that, but I feel like you're taking longer draws out of the Dynavap through a cycle than because like with that, like he's able to take like one or two and like chill for a second and go straight back to it, you know.
Yeah, and that is a benefit I think of this, is because like you do need to sit for a second to kind of let it continue to bake and build up some vapor, and that way then you can get in there and
Yeah.
get a nice pull.
Well, it makes sense though, right? Because like even if you use the volcano, you do like the preheat, then it fills up the bag. The
Then you got
first
the bag
bag's
and you
never
just
as
sit there
good
and
as the
take
next
a rip
one.
out.
Yeah.
In comparison to this, where it's not like you're consistently heating it and able to like you
It literally cools down for you
Yeah.
then to heat it back up. But I would have to think that by the time you do it and you're moving down, especially like the closer you get to the edge of the cap or like the base of the cap, that the internal temperatures. Remember when we had George on, he was like talking about the internal temperatures and like all these.
It's like
things.
if you had the volcano and each time you were like filling it up, you turned it up. You know?
Yeah, or like you don't let it cool down either, right? Like because when you start the first one, it's like everything is not even really activated. You're trying to like get everything going, and so like all the things that warm it up, they take a little bit longer, and it's not quite the same. It's like if you turn the oven on to get it to 400 degrees, and then you turn it off. If you go back and put it there 10 minutes later or 5 minutes later, it gets up to 400 degrees a lot faster. It's like the same. That's what my brain thinks about when I think about like the volcano, because as you go along, right, the second bag will always be like nice and milky.
Well, the thing about the volcano
that from the third one,
the temperature's already set, so every time you heat it, it's already at that temperature. So it literally just goes.
Yeah. But you still have to like when you don't start heating it up without anything in it, right? You put the bag on the top.
Oh yeah. But like it's the chamber's already still at that temperature, so you literally push the button and all it does is turn the fan on to fill the bag up.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's also because of like the technology is different, you know. I'm high.
One is like fucking $400 or $500.
I'm really
one
just
is
too high and
$20.
thinking way too much into this shit, and I really don't know why, because I agree with everything that's being said. But for some reason, I feel like I need to come up with some sort of opposition to the fucking conversation.
Yeah, dude,
like,
we're allowed
like,
to just enjoy what we're talking about.
I know, dude. I felt like we needed to, bro. You know, like we.
Oh man! I'll tell you what,
dude. Anybody out there that's just like an anti-vaporizing weed person? I mean,
just try it. Just try it. Find a device
something
that you
good
might
like
want to
the
try.
Dynavap is good, but
well, you know what it is.
Even for $20, you can get something that works all right if you put your own weed in.
This is the thing, right? Like,
hey, you can put your weed in there.
This is like as I was explaining earlier. This is a device that is manufactured by Greco Science, the Gpen people, the people that Snoop Dogg, Cheech and Chong, Wiz Khalifa have all teamed up with to make different dab pens and vaporizing products. So these people know what they're doing. They've
been around for years.
Yeah, this is not a Hue device. Hue is the puck. This is just a branded device they got from the Gpen people so that they could use it with their product. So I don't immediately know what the name of this product is for people to be able to go buy one, but I do believe, if my understanding is correct, that you can get this dry herb vaporizer by itself in a non-branded fashion and just use it. So I'm going to try to look this up right now and see if we can find it. Maybe I'm spelling that wrong, so let's just try Gpen. Yeah, it's Grenco, not Greco. There we go. Yeah, because, bam, I pull up the gpen.com website, and there's a Dr. Green Thumbs branded version of this right there at the top of the page. So it's definitely a product that they are pushing. Let's see, dry herb vaporizers. What do we call this? So this is called a Gpen Dash vaporizer. It's retailing on the Gpen website for $70. So you're apparently not going to get it as cheap as I can get it at my shop.
That's crazy. How the fucking Hue company's able to sell theirs for $20.
We're probably just not making anything on it. We're probably just selling it at wholesale.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so the device that I'm using today is the Gpen Dash by Gpen. And like I said, the base model is $70. I'm looking on the website now. There's a Cookies branded one for $90 for all you Cookies fans out there. Couple of them. The Dr. Green Thumbs one is on sale, y'all. You can get it for $72 over there at gpen.com.
Oh wow.
Yeah, shout out to Dr. Green Thumbs.
So I would assume though that like the one that you're buying for 70, it's not the exact same thing, just branded with somebody that's more famous.
So
or is that possible?
That
could be possible.
So here's the thing, and again, here we go, focus button for all of my
I literally pulled up the site myself. It's the same exact thing.
Yeah, it's literally the same thing. It's base model black for $69.95, $70.
Here's the thing though, Chris kind of might be onto something. It might just be because it does have the G Pen name.
Dude, I hope not though, James.
Gpen has been around for so long and has that hype built around it that they could just be able to sell theirs for more and like do those, white label ones for companies and have them be able to sell them for that price to push their product.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
That could be a thing.
Having talked to the guy, the sales rep, when I got this yesterday, it's something sort of along those lines where
that doesn't seem too
Gpen does offer a service where if you buy enough of them you can just have your own branded version,
and at that point you could do what you want with them,
and then that's it. So they're able to they do a kit for sale where it's like 3 different packs: a sativa, an indica, and a hybrid. So you have all 3 different types of experience, because for them it's less about selling a strain and more about selling the overall experience. Mm-hmm. So you get your 3 experiences, you get shit done, you're having fun, and you're relaxing different weeds. And then you'll get one of these for like a whole kit price. So that's kind of how this all kind of comes about. But yeah, man, I'm gonna say right now, if anybody's looking at that device and is thinking to themselves like, yeah, that Gpen Dash is intriguing, I'm not mad at it. I'm really not.
Would you say you'd choose it over a Dynavap?
Whoa.
Just out of curiosity.
All right. I'm glad you asked that question. I'm really glad you asked that question because I do have a good answer for this. And
I can't wait to hear it.
I'm going to say that sometimes, absolutely yes.
No.
Sometimes, absolutely yes. And here's why. All right? Because there are certain circumstances where pulling out a torch lighter and rolling a Dynavap is super not a good look. But this thing, this thing looks just like any refillable pod system that anybody in the vape community who vapes Nick Salts has probably bought. Like, what's the one, the Zero by Vaporesso?
You to this question too.
So this is so inconspicuous that it could just be a Vaporesso Zero in my hand right now, and you wouldn't know the difference if I wasn't talking about it. So I could easily be vaping Nick Salt in this, and you wouldn't know, except for maybe the smell I'm leaving behind. So yeah, for instances where it is not a good look, for me to be pulling out a torch and rolling my Dynavap, this fucking thing is absolutely going to best the Dynavap for me. Is it the vape I'm looking for?
As like, is the experience as enjoyable and as rewarding as the Dynavap?
No, and
okay,
yes.
That was the most important part for me, because I get the discrete aspect of it, but I don't think I could get away from the experience and the reward I get out of the Dynavap with the flavor and the actual, medication aspect of it, being able to, fully
Well, so here's why I say no and yes, right? Because I'm definitely getting a full extraction of my material without any combustion, which there's no risk of combustion because it's electronic. So, win right there. And I'm definitely getting more because I'm able to use more material. So I can get through one sesh and be satisfied, where it might be 2 or 3 Dynavaps before I'm satisfied. Now, on the flip of all of that, my favorite way to use my Dynavap is usually the Vong in the rig that I have dedicated for that. And that's not even remotely an option with something like this at all. Like, it's not even remotely possible. So I lose that. My favorite aspect of the Dynavap in general is the fact that I can get a Dynavap hit that is so hard. It's like taking bong hits without actually combusting flower. Like, that to me is where the Dynavap shines, is the fact that I can get that potent and milky of a cannabis vape from such a simple little device. Now, that being said, I think that they both have their merits. I think they're equally matched. The Dynavap wins out for me on the fact that I can do more with a Dynavap than I can do with this little Gpen device. And when it comes down to these Hue pucks combined with either device, Hue puck in the Dynavap, not my thing. Hue puck in the Gpen, stacking them was close, but still too light of an experience for what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
The people who maybe, because again, like, I'm thinking about it from a perspective, I have to sell these products, full disclosure, in my job. So, like, though I don't like them, I do have to try to think of this constructively.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you got to shill it somehow, dude.
Right, exactly. I think this is great for that person who goes up to the bud tender and says, I haven't smoked pot in years. I don't want to smoke pot.
Yeah.
But I still want to enjoy the whole benefits of cannabis flower versus vape cartridges. I don't like the vape cartridges. I think this is awesome. For that person who's like, I want to smoke weed but not cough.
Or the people that may want to do something, not as high as in THC, maybe more high in like CBDs or something. They're able to get something more geared towards that realm, flower aspects and shit. And
yeah,
it opens the door for them to try, different things compared to, being stuck to, like you're saying, like this high terpene, high fucking THC content vape cartridges. And I definitely see that aspect of it. For me, I obviously like you. I think I'm definitely going to go with the Dynavap because everything that you said, and also just because of the durability and the longevity of the device. As long as you keep the thing clean, and you got a lighter around or a torch, you'll always be able to use it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's a purely mechanical device in that sense.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you'll always be able to use it, regardless.
Yeah, you'll never be like, oh, dude,
you're not gonna have to be like,
lost
oh,
my
fuck,
charger
the battery
cord.
fucked up, or the charging port's fucked, or I can't find a cable for it, or this or that. So like, that's one of the other big appeals about the Dynavap for me is like, no matter what, as long as I keep the fucking thing clean, I'll always be able to use it as long as I can find some way to heat it. Fuck, as long as I got a magnifying glass, I could heat the thing. I've seen them do it.
100%.
Possible. But I also see it for like the novice person that maybe doesn't want to have to worry about, a torch, or doesn't want to have to invest the money into an induction heater. They can get something like this that's very all internal, compact, that they could just, grind their herb, put it in there, turn it on, set it to their preferred setting, and go about their business and do their thing. So I think from if you're saying you're able to get like a very similar experience as far as like the vaporization and that out of it, shit, I would definitely recommend it to somebody that's not maybe looking for the Dynavap, because it's still kind of around that same price range.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this, right? Like, if you
At the end of the
already own a Dynavap and and you have the situation that I've described, where you're like, you know, there are circumstances in my day-to-day life where I would dry herb vape, but it is a little bit too sus to pull out my Dynavap here. This thing,
Yeah.
I would go get one of these little Gpen
Maybe at a
Dashes.
family function, you just want to run out to the car real quick, take a little fucking hit. You don't want to have to.
Yeah, but okay, now here's a question though. This is a question. If you had a portable induction heater, would you be like a little bit more inclined
No.
to not feel the need for that?
No, because the portable induction heaters I've seen so far are all still going to look too fucking sus. They're too big. They're too obvious that you're doing something that's unusual. People are going to have their attention on you. This is all self-contained. So, like, if I'm sitting in a parking lot outside of a concert, getting ready to go into a concert that I want to go see, I can have this thing packed up, sit in my car, take a few hits, get my stone on, put it away in my console, because I'm not going to advocate over a podcast that anybody should bring cannabis into a concert. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Say
Well,
no more.
especially that, dude. That's a lot harder.
But at the end of the day, like, I can get my stone on, put this thing in my center console or whatever, lock my car up, go in, and the fucking guy working the parking lot thinks I'm just ripping a normal vape. He doesn't even realize I'm getting stoned. If I got a fucking torch and this thing, I look like I'm cooking crack in the fucking front seat of my car.
I know, it does have like a different look for sure.
And it's not a good look when I can be caught up in that situation. All I want to do is use a product that's legally allowed for me to be using at my age, in my state. But in that certain environment, it's frowned upon. At this state of the environment. Like, I can't just go in there and smoke weed. I can't go up to the bar and buy a fucking bone and just smoke a doobie and watch the Doobie Brothers. It's not an option. But it should be. But, like, this means that now I can, you know, get my little vape on out in the parking lot, and then I can go into the venue and watch the doobs. All right, dude, I'm winning. And then, of course, I come out, I'm sober, I can drive home safely, because, you know, we want to respect the law here. I don't want to encourage people to break the law, even though people have driven stoned for millennia. But no, it's neither here nor there. But at the end of the day, I think it's definitely got a great place, and I'm really impressed, honestly, because I've tried products that use the same kind of stuff for more money, for less money, and they didn't do as good a job as this thing did. So, I mean, it's worth it if somebody's already got a Dynavap and needs a you know, something that they can be super discreet with. That should be your second friend. 100%. That should totally be your second friend. I'm definitely going to use it more now that I own one. And shout out to the company for hooking up the staff of my dispensary I work for, because it didn't even come out of pocket for me.
Nice.
Perfect.
So I got to test their products and, you know, try all this stuff out, and basically try out this cool ass little thing and find a product I actually think is pretty decent when you use it with your own weed and you know how to vaporize. Because, like, I guarantee I have friends who are going to try to put weed in this, and it's going to be an awful experience for them because they're not experienced with dry herb vaping yet. This is probably going to be their first experience, and they're going to be like, that's it? These pucks are dumb. I don't like it. And I'm going to go, no. Grind some weed. Fill it up, but not too tight. And then try it and see what happens. And we'll see if I can, like, change some minds. And then I'll be like, all right, now, go to Dynavap.com, buy you an M, buy you a little, you know, single flame torch, and then come talk to me when you have them. Yep. It's a thing. Selling Dynavaps to the world.
Do it and you're cool.
I'm saying.
Dude, they're just so good. That's why.
I mean, Dynavap. Are you looking to cut the cord on your dry herb vape? Dynavap.
Yeah.
I couldn't resist that one. Well, shit, fellas. Coming to the end of the show, but I do want to say, I don't know if either of you guys have checked out the Hiya podcast, but I need to recommend it to everybody, including our listeners. I have been laughing my ass off at this podcast now for the last week. And
What did you say it was called? The Hiya?
The Hiya podcast.
What was it?
Yeah.
So obviously, I have a feeling you guys all at least all know about Uncle Roger.
Oh, it's Uncle Roger?
It's the dude who plays Uncle Roger, Nigel
really?
Ung. Yep. It's his latest podcast. 13 episodes in so far at this point. But dude, it's really fucking good. And it's basically him talking with his producer about a whole bunch of random shit. And it's just funny as hell. I was listening to one earlier today before the show, and he was going on this random digression about how the Queen of England has to kind of really be racist, right? Like it's kind of necessary if you're going to be the queen of a monarchy. You probably have to be a little bit racist, right? And it's a comedian going on tangents, and you can't help but laugh. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. Hiya. I think if I remember correctly, it's spelled Hayyaa. Hiya. But yeah, with Nigel Ung, outstanding. He also had another podcast I've been checking out too that he did a year ago called Rice to Meet You. And he did that one with another Asian comedian, and their banter together was outstanding. It was this woman, I cannot remember her name because I've only watched a couple of them because it's a whole year's worth of episodes to chew through. And yeah, their banter is just outstanding. They're funny as hell together. I was laughing my ass off getting shit done around my house the other day. So yeah, go check him out. Nigel Ung and his couple of podcasts out there that he's done. Man, I mean, Uncle Roger bits are funny and it's great. But to hear a comedian be able to just freeform about everything and basically do stand-up as a podcast is just wonderful. You know what I mean? Just riffing on whatever. You can't help but laugh at that shit.
It's pretty much a lot of the podcasts I listen to are like that, man. A lot of the bigger comedians, like the Two Bears, One Cave, Whiskey Ginger, fucking bad friends with Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino. That shit's fucking insane.
Dude, Bobby Lee, man.
Tiger Belly. If you guys haven't listened to Tiger Belly yet, that shit's fucking nuts, dude.
Dude, Bobby Lee is genius.
I wish I could move my microphone around as much as he does without it going all fucking crazy on me.
Oh, I know. He's got the most fluid microphone movement. It's amazing. He's just all about it.
It's just that I don't have the same microphone.
Yeah, dude. He's all over it. I'm jealous actually because he always just keeps it that perfect amount, but he's constantly moving it, and I'm jealous that because for me it's the cable. The cable, I need a fucking 10-foot cable plus or something like that.
It's the microphone and the connection on my microphone's a little wonky. I can't really touch it too much because it.
Dude, mine's not
Yeti. Step your game up on your.
Yeah, get your fucking ports better. That's all I can say.
Mm.
The sound is good, and it's lasted a pretty decent amount of time, but.
Or Blue, I should say. Yeti's the microphone. Blue.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, here's the thing, right? There are a lot nicer USB microphones out there on the market from other companies that are in similar price ranges. But they just don't have the name recognition, right? So a lot of people just go for the Blue Yeti because it's all right, well, it's known, it's trusted.
At a certain point, man, I am going to get myself a little fucking mixer here, get a XLR, probably get a nice Shure. So
here's the thing. Sure. What I actually have been doing since I moved my office into the photo studio to start doing the show again, excuse me, I have a Behringer in-out, and that's all I'm running. this whole thing off of right now. Like when we started this show and I was using the big mixer, it was great. I love my big mixer, and when I get back into, when I get into my new place and I can build my studio in the big room, my mixer will get set up. It'll be in a perfect spot. It'll be great. But right now, all this is a 2 jack in out. And I've got an XLR jack and a simple 1 1/4 inch jack. That's it. That's all I got.
All I need.
It's got a preamp built in, so that way, like, I can run this guy, my real MXL studio mic that I used to record on. I mean, to give people just perspective, like, this was the same model microphone I would record on in the recording booth in the recording studio where we've had Capadonna of Wu-Tang record. So I mean, if it's good enough for people like Wu-Tang, it's good for podcasting, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's good for you.
Like you guys can
sure.
do that. And this is the cool thing, right? The MXL series from them is actually pretty low budget. This particular microphone retails at roughly $100. So for about the same price as most people are paying for their Yeti, they can get this thing.
I might have paid that, but I feel like now they're almost double that.
Well, I mean, thanks to COVID and everybody having to do Zoom shit.
Yeah. Like my webcamera, dude. I remember I bought it for like $40 Canadian or something like that. And then maybe like last year, even this time, it was like $109.
Oh shit, man. When we started this show, I had to go and buy software to power my Canon camera to do all these things, right? And then thanks to COVID, Canon actually built a driver patch to run your camera as a webcam. I'd already been doing it for years through third-party software, and finally Canon was like, all right, the demand is way too high. We got to give in and do it. So, I mean, like, a lot of that shit happened, like, as a result.
That Behringer thing you got isn't very expensive either.
No, those little in-outs are fairly cheap. You just plug right into your USB port into your computer, and now you've got an in-out interface with mic preamp, so you can run XLRs. And
you got direct monitoring too. That's nice.
Yeah. So like, if I want to take these headphones and plug them in, I can hear myself. Or like I'm used to now, I actually have you just plugged into my my main speakers, and I don't hear myself because I've gotten pretty used to not hearing myself anymore.
They got a 2-channel too. That's nice.
Yeah, super nice. It actually even has signal clipping right there, so you can actually see your monitoring.
The 2-channel is not very expensive either. It's only like $90, dude. And with that one, you got 2 different gain controls and everything on there.
Yeah, well, that's like I've got the mic line 1 and instrument line 2 on mine, and then my master output for my direct monitoring.
Yeah. Oh, it's got the on top, huh?
Yep. I'm running a Euphoria UM2.
Yeah, it's exactly what I'm looking at.
Yeah, super inexpensive, as you see. And
$35.
This is what I used to record on in my own home studio. I would run this.
Dude, I just want something that I'm not worried about moving it because I don't want it to fucking crackle in my ears or fuck up because of my port.
This is
like this mic would be good if I use it strictly for like just chilling in Zoom. You know what I mean? Like just hanging out with friends, not doing anything extraordinary, not being somewhere where I can't just get up and walk around or whatever. You know what I mean? So like it'd be nice. Or like on the green room I can have it in this spot. I don't have that because it's like visually a product as well as audio, right? Like so you always hear me, but for a podcast, it should be a little bit better, and I want to be comfortable. I just want to be able to kick back and still have that microphone up close.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing, right? Is that like when you have your own personal gain controls, you can actually get in there and make sure that even right up on the mic, you're still not peaking. Like I can give you guys that beautiful velvet. Yeah, but this is the thing, is that you can't touch your shit without it getting all fucked up.
Yeah, I know.
That's the problem that we run into, right? So that's why, like, eventually everybody needs to upgrade these things. And, that's kind of everybody that's listening. You just got a quick tech section here on podcast.
Blue, get your shit together. I hope the new ones have better, ports because the Yetis kind of sucks. But Everything else about it, I've enjoyed.
Oh, hey.
I feel like I've had it for a long time now too. Like I feel like I've had it for like 3 years.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a Samsung USB mic, which, I mean, back when we all first started hanging out, that was the condenser mic I started using before I got all this stuff back out and started setting it all up. And I mean, that thing holds its own for sure, but it's not the same, right? Because like when you start to get into microphones, you start to dive into this world of cardioid patterns, and you start to dive into diaphragm size, and it gets into some confusing talk if you have no idea what you're reading.
Yeah,
right?
dude, it's definitely one of those things that you could dive down a rabbit hole. Trying to
Yeah,
find,
impedance and sibilance, and it's like, all
finding
right,
the right thing for you might be more difficult.
and it's
Than just
true.
being like, oh, I'll order this off Amazon. Blue Yeti, let's go.
And that's the thing, right? Is like Blue Yeti is, I think, the perfect place for people to start to learn about a condenser mic, right? Like,
I could literally upgrade my whole mic setup with like a nice Shure XLR mic, a interface, and XLR cable for $225.
see that shit? Yeah, you would change your whole audio game.
Because the Shure MV7X, which is like the step down from like their more expensive one, but it's just a strictly XLR one. Dude, it's fucking got phenomenal ratings, and there's one place that has them on sale for $170, $180 actually.
Yeah.
And they're fantastic microphones, dude. They really are.
Yeah, Shure microphones are like, them and ProSonus are like some of the best microphone makers on the planet.
The mic I used to use for like live gigs and stuff is a Shure.
Yep. Hell, even when I was working for the audio company doing live shows and shit, we ran a lot of Shure microphones because like they're high quality. They do what they need to do. And the cool thing is that Shure has such a huge line of microphones, right? So like when you see Bobby Lee, that's a Shure microphone he's using. That's a completely different model than like the ones that we might have used in the live shows, like for the instruments, and that's a completely different series than the ones that we would give singers. And there's two different sets of those because there's condensers and there's non-condensers, right? So
I might be getting this here set up here in the next couple weeks, fellas.
Oh shit, look out. James's audio is about to get even crispier.
I might just invest, you know.
Oh shit. Moving on up, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we do for you because we love you. You mean the world to us. And with that creepy note, let's bring this shit to a close. I'm gonna send it around the room. Let the boys go ahead and do the sign out like we always do, and that means Uncle Chris, it's off to you.
Okay, well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Make sure you go over to shedtimepodcast.com. You can check out all the cool shit that we got going on over there, and including all the discount codes and all that stuff, which is always cool. I think that everybody kind of likes getting a deal on things sometimes, and we just happen to be working with a bunch of good companies. So check that out. Shout out to Dynavap especially. If you guys want to check me out on Tuesday nights on Mixing It Up, it's on KVTV's YouTube channel. It's just four of us. We just mix e-liquid every week, have different challenges, if you will. It's always a good time. Also, at 8 o'clock on Fridays, you can catch me, Sean, and James on The Green Room on Frame Shanklin Vapor's YouTube channel, same time, 8 o'clock. And lastly, I'll say, if you guys want, check out some of my e-liquid. Just go to UncleChrisTestingGrounds.com and use the coupon code Shedtime. Get you a little bit of savings. And with that, I'll say, everybody, live your best life. James, take it away.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys all for hanging out with us tonight. And of course, make sure you guys go check out shedtimepodcast.com for all of your links for, our past guests and all the episodes that you guys may have missed. And maybe if you're new here, you can, check out all the ones from the past. And then, of course, catch up on all the new ones. Like Chris said, you can catch us on Fridays over on my YouTube channel for the Green Room. We do build-offs. We do Shedhead sessions where you guys can come hang out with us on the show, play some games, and just have a good time on a Friday night. And, of course, you can also check out my channel for, random vape reviews that drop on the channel if you guys are interested in any new products and stuff and, want to hear my thoughts on them. You can check those out. And, of course, we'll just be here every Sunday doing the damn thing, hanging out with the boys in the shed, which is one of my favorite things to do on the weekends. One of my times to just get my relaxation on and just kind of have good conversations with two of my best friends here. So with that being said, I'm going to end it as I always do, sending out all those positive vibes, crisp high fives. And as always, let's just vape on, Shedheads, and shed time our faces off as always.
Oh, yeah. And just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the giveaway time. Oh, so next episode, we're going to make that poll. Because obviously with the schedule, the way this comes out, they're going to have a whole other week from the time we're recording this before they hear this episode. So it's going to close, and on next Sunday's show, we're going to be pulling it. So you guys are going to hear it the following Sunday. So yeah, you guys are going to hear about it soon. And I'm excited to see who wins this because... You know what the hardest part's going to be?
Time coming, bro.
You know what the hardest part's going to be? Knowing who gets that and not being able to tell them until after the show goes live.
Oh, yeah. Fuck.
That's going to be the hardest part because we're going to have a whole solid week to wait with our mouths shut.
I'm going to have to get real high that episode so I forget.
Yep. Yeah. So that's
like
going to
be an easy thing to do, but
that's going to be our challenge because we're definitely going to want to tell them.
Let's
and I definitely
in the episode so that we forget by the end.
Yes, because I definitely want them to find out immediately, and then they can hit us up and we can make all that happen.
Ultimately, dude, you can just tell them. They don't have to listen to it. We can tell them first, but just say don't fucking tell anybody.
No. I want them to hear it first on the show, man. That's got how exciting is that going to be?
They've sweated it out this long. What's another fucking week?
For us.
Right. So that's the way it's got to be. I think it'll be awesome. But anyway, that's going to be it. We're closing it. So you guys will find out next week who it is that wins that dope ass custom coded mod. And don't forget, there's more giveaways to come because we still got more shit to give away. This is just the first. So head on over to shedtimepodcast.com. That's where you can find a link to the Patreon. And if you want to get in on giveaways, that's your way to do it. So hop on over there. $5, make you holla, let you watch the stream. Holy shit, you get to see the whole episode. And trust me, you get to see some sick shit. As you've already heard today, I was showing a ton of stuff off. We were showing shit off. So definitely check it out. Shedtimepodcast.com. Everything you need right there. And with all of that, I bring it to a close like I do every single show. So don't let the bastards get you down. Be cool. Don't be a dick. And whatever it is that you do, be sure to have some fun. It's the Shed Time Podcast. We're going to roll on up and roll on out. Dynavap. Looking to cut the cord on your dry herb vape? Dynavap. Trying to get the best taste from your herb? Dynavap. Ready to take your sesh to the next level? Then meet Dynavap, the best way to vape your flower or concentrate. Concentrates? That's right, your flower or hash can be vaped using Dynavap. Check out Dynavap.com to learn more. That's Dynavap.com. Lose the ash? Dynavap.
What's going on, Shedheads? It's your boy, Frames Janklin. Are you looking to step up your match game or have a raw copper, brass, or stainless mod or RDA that you're absolutely tired of polishing? Then you need to go and hit up my man Ashton at Palmer's Powders. He does some absolutely amazing powder coating work He offers many different colors and finishes at an absolutely killer price. This man is taking powder coating to a whole new level, and he can make your setup an absolute masterpiece. You can go follow him over on Instagram at Palmer's Powders, and you can go check out pricing on his website, palmerspowders.com. That's palmerspowders.com. And as always, let's just vape on, Shedheads.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Sean Tyven, the Angry Hippie, and I'm back at it again. We're here today to talk about Unicorn Vapes Inc., a fantastic Canadian company who's making outstanding vape hardware. If you're looking for a fantastic, high-quality mechanical device or an excellent RDA, and you're looking for it at a fantastic and affordable price, look no further than Unicorn Vapes Inc. You can get your Unicorn Vapes Inc. products at areliquid.com. That's areliquid.com. Check them out today.
I want you to think of your favorite rebuildable right now. Yeah, okay, so you have a layer cake in your hand, and now you're about... Oh, sorry, yeah, that's not everyone's favorite. That's just mine. So think of your favorite rebuildable atomizer. Think about how good of a vape it produces for you. Now, take that and amplify it. And the way that you amplify that is you put in some Breezestone coils. Breezestone coils are handcrafted in Adelaide, Australia. They're made from some of the finest quality wire that you can get. I believe it's wire Buddha. You take those coils, you take them out of that phenomenal packaging that clearly shows how much care that Adam